Did Iran just cross the nuclear red line? A shocking narrative is emerging from Tehran, one that's sending quiet panic through global power circles. Claims are surfacing that nuclear capability is being framed not as a threat, but as a non-negotiable right. If that signal is real, this isn't just another political statement. It's a potential turning point. Because for years, Iran's nuclear program has been contained by pressure, diplomacy, and agreements like the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Limits were enforced. Inspections were allowed. The goal was simple: control escalation before it begins. But now, something feels different. The tone is harder. The language is sharper. And the message being interpreted is clear: external control may no longer matter. If that becomes reality, the consequences will move fast. The United States won't stay silent. Israel will treat this as an immediate threat. Saudi Arabia and other regional powers may begin preparing for their own nuclear path. This is how one signal can ignite an entire region. And once that chain reaction begins, it doesn't stop easily. Global markets could shake. Oil routes like the Strait of Hormuz could become pressure points. Military presence could rise. Diplomacy could weaken. And suddenly, the world is no longer stable, it's on edge. But here's the question no one is answering clearly. Is this an official shift, or a calculated warning? Because in geopolitics, sometimes the message is the weapon. And right now, the message coming out of Iran is impossible to ignore. If it turns into action, it won't just change the Middle East. It could change the balance of power across the entire world. Stay alert. Because the next move could come faster than anyone expects. And behind closed doors, the pressure is already building. Intelligence circles are watching unusual patterns, heightened alert levels, strategic messaging, and a shift in tone that suggests something is changing beneath the surface. Analysts are no longer just asking if things will escalate, but how fast. Because when a nation begins to redefine its red lines, the timeline compresses. The real concern isn't just nuclear capability, it's the speed of decision-making. In past crises, there were months of signals, negotiations, and warnings. Today, those windows are shrinking. One statement, one move, one miscalculation, and the entire equation changes. And that's where uncertainty becomes dangerous. Global powers are now forced into a position where hesitation could be seen as weakness. The is recalibrating its strategy, balancing between deterrence and escalation. Is intensifying surveillance, treating every signal as a potential trigger point. Meanwhile, is quietly reassessing its long-term security posture. This isn't coordination, it's reaction. And reactions, by nature, are unpredictable. In the middle of all this sits one of the world's most critical choke points, the Strait of Hormuz. A narrow passage, but a global lifeline. Any disruption here doesn't stay regional, it sends shockwaves through oil markets, economies, and supply chains worldwide. Now imagine that tension layered on top of nuclear uncertainty. That's not just risk, that's volatility. But there's another dimension most people don't see. Information itself has become a battlefield. Signals, statements, leaks, each one carefully timed, carefully worded. Sometimes to warn. Sometimes to test. Sometimes to shift the narrative without firing a single shot. Because in modern geopolitics, perception can move markets faster than missiles. And right now, perception is shifting.